Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Evil Dragon, and welcome to the wonderful land of Abu Dhabi, round 11 of 12 of this long, arduous, and entertaining season, which has had ups, which has had downs, and only two drivers now in total fight, really nearly only one of them. Joining me, as today, again from last week, is my dear friend, Mr. Bonnie.
Good afternoon, Evil. Where has the season gone? Round 11 already.
I know.
Oof.
It's gone absolutely quickly. One more race next week, of course, at Las Vegas. Now, you might be wondering if you've been looking at the weather, and it has been noted, only one wet race so far this season. That was, I believe, a few races ago. I wasn't there for it. I think it was Austria?
Japan?
Was it Japan? No, it was one of the races earlier in the season. I know I wasn't there because I was on a great walk that day and was also slightly ill afterwards. But nonetheless, digressing on my issues, and well, as I told you earlier, I had a bit of a jam incident earlier. But anyway, top tip: don't eat donuts. And yeah, they do go everywhere sometimes. Nonetheless, we have got a championship fight on our hand today. Well, we could say championship fight is very much a one-horse race. That is, of course, between Reaper, who you're seeing right now in fourth, and, of course, Jamie, who we're seeing right there. He leading the championship by a comfortable margin, of course. Reaper did not make it last week due to other commitments, so did miss out. This means Jamie, all he has to do is pretty much finish the race, and Reaper has to win the race, and Jamie finishing lower than 9th position, which Jamie has not really finished below 9th much of the season, so it's going to take a tall order for him to be out of this championship fight, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to Jamie in the pre-press conference, and he seems to be taking this pretty conservative today. But Reaper's in his pre-match writing, as you will, has said he's not taking anything seriously. He's going for it, which really has to do.
Yeah, you have to really go for it at this section of the season. Like I said, we are the penultimate round. A few other tiers, I believe, can wrap up their championship here today. Bonnie, you would know well about potential wrapping up championships here at Abu Dhabi. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I've said it now. You've got a championship fight later on in P3. How are you feeling confident on that?
I'm feeling quite good. It's working quite well. My strategy is good. Setup's good. Well, everything just fall into place. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, indeed. You mentioned also tyres very much going off around Abu Dhabi. Now, obviously, I don't race. You do. So tell us about the potential tyre strategies.
I think there could well be possibly a free stop. It depends if anybody goes on the soft. I would expect there to be a free stop. I think everybody's going to have to be very careful with the tyres around Abu Dhabi. The mediums appear to go off maybe 5 to 7 laps, and some hards tend to go off maybe at 9 laps. So we could see a lot of different tyre strategies today.
Yeah, indeed. Shiesty goes P1 right now. What's Jamie going to do? Comes up to the line, gets himself into P3. And behind him, I believe that might just been Reaper. It is Reaper, and he goes P2. Now, it's been a common trend this season. Reaper has outperformed Jamie in terms of qualifying. I did get some lovely statistics. I'm there somewhere, a little bit up. I will find them. I saw them earlier. They've disappeared. Hang on. There were somewhere. I know I got sent them. There they are. I found it in the end. So, it is a head-to-head between Jamie and Reaper. Jamie has got ahead of Reaper twice so far this season, 2 to 7. In terms of the races, Jamie has tended to be a little bit more consistent, 6 to 3, compared to his rival. And of course, being Reaper, being, you must say, very unfortunate in a few of the races. A few safety cars, especially in the race before last, really buggered his strategy. And that is really just been the ace up Jamie's sleeve. It's just perfect timing of safety cars.
Yes. And Reaper also did get that do not start in, is it China?
Miami.
Unfortunately. Miami, was it? Oh, he did Miami, Reaper, didn't
he? No, yes, he did do Miami. My apology. It was the race before. Yes, you're all right.
So yeah, it wasn't it wasn't great at all for Reaper not starting. It's not great for anybody not starting this, but particularly for Reaper being against Jamie. It's just a shame.
In terms of podiums, both very even, 6 and 5 respectively, of course. But as we mentioned, it is the championship points that are very much wide open. They, of course, closed massively down after Saudi Arabia. They were down to just over, I think, about 6 or 7 points, if we worked it out at the time. And, of course, the race after, they jumped all the way up. And pretty much since then, it's not gone well. Reaper had a torrid time with Miami, had all sorts of issues. Managed to nearly drop out of the championship in that round by just the skin of his teeth. Got across the line. I think it was around about 9th or 10th position. Both of them 0 DNFs, though that is, of course, slightly skewed due to the fact that we have had DNSs in this season. The first round of qualifying, though, that is pretty much done and dusted. It's Shiesty on pole from Reaper in P2. Vasek in 3rd. Mark Crawford returning. He's in 4th. Well, his name's not Gamer James anymore because they mistaked it on something, so it's Ganna James now, according to the telemetry, which I still find amusing. Kenzie's waiting to finish the lap, so is Kasark Wolf. Joe Flax, meanwhile, has gone P1 into the 2nd Red Bull, and this is going to be quite crucial again. Red Bull have more of an ace up their sleeve with strategy. We've seen a few races this season compared to the McLaren.
Yes, we have. They seem to work quite well together, Joel and Reaper. In every race, they work together very well. So that could be really crucial for them during this race. I must say that lap by Joel is an absolute flyer.
Yeah, it really is. So it's nearly 6/10 quicker. So 23.2. I mean, you could pretty much say that's nearly pretty high up in P3 tier, I think, is it not as well?
Yes, it could well be. Yeah, that's a... Wow. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if anybody really gets close to that time in P4. I'm sure somebody will, but that's a mind-blowing lap.
Yeah, he's hooked every sector. We didn't see the lap, but we're currently looking at him as he comes into the pit lane. Yellow flags flying as we try and see who is on a outlap, and it is, of course, Shiesty, Reaper. Everyone's coming out on a hot lap as well in just a few moments' time. A few people coming in, of course. Wolf has not set a lap time in the Racing Bulls. Now, there was 2 people with grid penalties here today, and they was...
we've got Mike and Cossack, both taking gearbox penalties.
Indeed. So Mike, I keep forgetting, Mike is... Which one's Mike?
Mike is in the Haas. He's currently 4th at the moment.
Ah, there you go, thank you. Still getting used to it. I'm commentating them over a season. I'm still getting used to the names over the season. We'll get there eventually. Who is on a lap time right now? Nightcaller seems to be on a lap in the Ferrari. And the Ferraris, they've had a very good bounce back in pace the last couple of races. Ocon taking his first victory in China, then, of course, doing the double in Miami. He did send me a lovely message after the race thanking me for having faith and support, and we do like to see that. So Ocon, it's come a bit late, but he's really starting to get his feet in the tier, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Having 2 wins in the last 2 races as well. And he's not up there in qualifying, but his race pace always has been there the last 2 races. It's really got him into the fight.
And I believe if we had a DNF out of the pit lane, I'm trying to see, someone's off out of in the pit lane entry.
It's Wolf, yeah.
In the pit lane, so that's not ideal. So I'm going to presume he's just lost it on the outside. It's either tank slapped or it's not gone very well. But Nightcaller in the Ferrari has just gone P2, as I'm now trying to see who's on a lap time. Well, it's not Shiesty. He's just coming to the pit lane. We've got Jamie and also Reaper currently coming through the last sector. First is going to be the McLaren. Needs right now to get himself up the grid. He's currently down in 9th position. He can afford to take it a little bit cautiously, but he does not want to get involved in an accident across the line. Very wide. Suppose it invalidated. Goes P3. What about Reaper? Can he do anything about his teammate? Nope. Goes P3. So, Nightcaller 123.4. So he is getting closer to that lap time from Joel. So Joe really just hooked it on the first opportunity. Mark Crawford, I think, coming through the last corners. It's James cross line right now, then Mark Crawford just behind in the Alpine. Through the last two corners he comes, and is he coming in? Yes, he is.
Oaken is currently up by 2 cents, coming around the last couple of corners.
Chuck it on the brakes, chuck it through the last corner. Rear end just about sticks with you up to the line, and P4 again. So Ferrari isn't doing quite well. Second and fourth, like we've seen a few times in the last few races, their qualifyings are coming to them. Just it seems sometimes in the races, of course, apart from the last few races, haven't gone their way. So that's always pretty promising to see who is out on a lap time. We've got the Mercedes of Jake. He's languishing down at 11, but he's currently sitting third or fourth in the standings. And his teammate not here. I don't think he's going to be racing next week in Las Vegas potentially either, due to, I believe, other commitment of time. So it's unfortunate for Jake. He's shouldering on, and in a race that really could have been one for him last week, ended up being a disaster.
I mean, we had was it 3 safety cars in the last race at Miami for P4?
Yeah.
Was front wings literally everywhere on the track.
Yeah, it did look a bit more like a scrapyard after the race. But Jake only goes, only goes to 11, so did not improve. Doesn't seem like he's got very much confidence around this track.
Yes, just thinking about that pit lane. I know Wolf had an unfortunate accident. That pit lane, it's so strange. I don't understand what they would. I mean, it looks brilliant from the TVs and everything, but it must be a pain for the drivers getting out of that pit lane.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, of course, I suppose it is a little bit more easier because if you remember, it's the Korean circuit used to be pretty much identical. You come straight out of the pit lane, and on the exit there is the very fast corners. So I suppose it's the only elegant solution they could have done. Maybe they could have put the pit lane on the other side, but of course on the other side of the pit lane is pretty much a giant, it's the marina, so you're kind of boxed in where you can put it, unfortunately.
I mean, by the time you come out of it, you're already near enough up to full speed, and you just got to be careful on the right-hand side when you come in and see if there's any other drivers coming through.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen as many accidents in real life there. Of course, we've had close calls. I remember as Fernando Alonso many years ago, I think it was with Toro Rosso down there out of the pit lane, had to go off the circuit and really hurt his back that day. And, talking of probably hurting, he's probably hurting in that Aston Martin even more right now.
Oh, Curly's got a nice toe off. Is that Joel?
Going
down the first straight? Was it?
Yeah, Reaper, because Joel's in the white ball.
That white ball. Oh,
I do love it. It's I do like the right ball, but I do. Oh, I got a car spinning around. That's Kasak in the the white ball. There we go. There's the AlphaTauri, which is also white. So that's always going to get confusing when everything's white. Either everything's white or everything's blue. There's no in between. But you were mentioning, Curly, he had a nice toe. What's he doing in Sector 2? I don't believe it was up, as you got Kasak's going around again then in the racing ball, so he's not having much fun.
I think he may have been up by 3/10, Curly, going through the second sector.
So let's see if probably it'll put him 13th position, maybe higher if it's last sector. Across the line, only good enough for 12th, so did improve by one more position, but finds himself down in 12th so far with 3 minutes to go in qualifying. Reaper beginning his lap.
Knightley's up by just under 1/10 going through the second sector.
Yeah, tricky little right-hander, and I've witnessed many an accident down here in my league racing career. Not as quite so much as real life. That's going in the wall. And I did mention many accidents. There's another one to add to the list of people going off and clouts the wall. So that'll be really. Where's Reaper? And where's Jamie? Jamie's still in the pit lane. Reaper's gone early, so he just wants to get this lap time in as soon as possible. And he needs to be on the front row of the grid. And presumably, Joel will not put up a fight most of the race and will try and hold Jamie back. That's what I'm gathering is going to happen here.
He's done a good lap, Reaper. He's still up. He's just up on his previous time. 8/100s. He's going through the tricky section. Two really deviously slow left-handers. He's gets it in.
Yeah, through the last corner. And let's see, 123.2 to beat. He was purple in the first sector, he was purple in the second sector. Across line he goes, doesn't do it. 123.4, lost a little bit in the last sector. But it is a Red Bull 1-2 as things stand.
James just says out. That lap by Joel has really put the rest of the drivers under a lot of, I won't say pressure, but it's given them a bit of an oomph to try and go as quick as they can.
Yeah, it certainly has indeed. Looking through who's on a lap time. I think Fox is on a lap time right now. In a very much slowly improving Aston Martin over the last couple of races. Didn't have many points in the first races, but they're constantly now banging on the top 10. He's currently in 9th position. He's got one of these Saubers ahead. Make sure you don't end up understeering into the wall through here, like we've seen a few drivers do so far. That car's going to be diving in the pit lane. It's quite an awkward place there, and I think he won't be too impressed here. Of that car. Dirtier everywhere, doesn't improve, loses the time, and I don't think he's going to be impressed with, I think it might be Helvecker.
No, he's been botched up behind him, coming the last two corners. You know, you have, like you said, the dirty air, and also you're not sure when the driver's going to brake, if they're on the outlap or not, so you don't want to go into the back of them either.
Well, we got the last two drivers, well, really the last main title protagonist. The one-time P4 champion, hopefully to make it 2. He's currently in P6 so far. That will do him good if it was like that in the race. That is where he needs to finish and above, I believe. I think it's 8th or 9th, I think it is. We'll go through the permutations in a little bit. We've got his teammate currently coming through the last sector. He's up by 14 thousandths. And what would Jamie do to have Shiesty up near the front as well, I wonder?
He did have a couple. He went over the curve just a little too much going through the chicane, but he's still up. Only just by 3/1000s.
Shiesty to the line, doesn't improve, stays P8 then. One of the Red Bulls behind, that's Joel beginning his final lap. Helvecker carrying through the last sector, so is Jamie. As you mentioned, he was up by just a few thousandths of a second. He needs to find, well, ideally half a second to get himself where he wants to be. And I don't think he's doing it right now. Repossession is done. So is Helvecker. So is Fox. Here comes Jamie. Up to the line. Can he get improved? Doesn't improve by any positions. So he'll start at least in 6th position unless others around him can improve. We've got Mark Crawford currently coming through the last sector right now in the Alpine. Gets it nice and hooked through the last two corners. Bring it all the way to the left. Flick it to the right. And then you've just got one corner to go. Very easy corner to mess your lap up. Get it nice on the exit. Keep it to the line. Goes 9th. Doesn't improve as much.
Mike coming through the last corner.
Yeah, Mike.
Was 1/10 up.
Doesn't improve either.
He's already 5th, apologies.
How about Jake? Can he finally get himself up the order a little bit? It's not been a good qualifying. Yes, he does. 6th position for Jake Lang. Does find time. And I was wondering if it was going to come. He was down in the first 2 laps. Finally did it on the last lap. And now it's pretty much, what is Joel going to do? Not going to do much, he's invalidated. And we'll dive into the pit lane. Now I think it's got King Bryce, who dives into the pit lane.
There's going to be a Red Bull Ferrari fight off the line. And it's quite interesting. Oh, it's going to do the permutation. He said we're going to do permutations quite shortly, but yeah, it'll be interesting start off line between the Red Bulls and the Ferraris.
Yeah, I'm saying Hockney can't get into the session, but so they might be able to get back in. They might hopefully be getting into the session in due course. 1 minute to go in qualifying. We are just waiting for, I think, these last drivers to come into the pit lane. No, it seems they've gone for another lap, and it hasn't actually, the telemetry's not. There we go. As I was speaking, the telemetry decided it wants to work. So Kasakla, you can see, down in 15th position. I'm wondering if we're going to be getting a lobby restart to try and get Hockney in. I wonder. But here's your official rundown then. It's Joel from Reaper, Nightcaller Oaken. So again, good qualifying for the Ferraris. Haslen of Michael Vasek in 5th. Jake and Jamie alongside each other yet again, like they were last week. And yet again, they are this week. Helveca 8th. James 9th. Shiesty ahead of Mark, Rawford, Fox, Curly, Bryce, Kasak, Kenzie, and then of course Wolf did not set a official lap time that was representative, and DNF'd in the pit lane as well.
I'm guessing that all the drivers would have already thought about the strategies, about what they're going to do with the tyres. Well, they might change them considering where they are on the grid at the start.
It's certainly possible, but well, you know what time it is. It's time to put you on the spot for the beautiful, beautiful sponsorships.
Absolutely. So first off, we've got our title sponsor for the league, Delta.app. Must remind as always that this is for over 18s only. All your investments in one place, one app, apologies. Make smarter decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success through Delta. If you use the command !Delta in the Twitch chat, you'll be given a link to the Delta app so you can download it from there. And you can use it to be able to track your investments. Next up, we have Next Level Racing. They sponsor the league by providing excellent prizes throughout the season. And unfortunately, the prize this year haven't been confirmed, but they will be in due course. Next up is Sim Racing Setups. They provide pro setup bundles for F125, created by the top esports drivers. They offer dry, intermediate and wet setups. And they provide strategy tips for such for the track maps and where you can use the arrest during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for the weekly Driver of the Day winners and the Driver of the Seasons through finishes with the most Driver of the Days. You can also use the code for One Up Racing to get 5% off their setups. And next up, we have Pure Sim Gear. They sponsor the league by providing racing socks and gloves to the drivers with the most fastest laps and poles over the course of the season. You can also use the code OHR10P and you get 10% off their socks and gloves. Next up, we have Vespertine. And they provide merchandise prizes throughout the season for us. And last but not least, we have SimGrid, and they support us with providing all of our community through the community platforms and take a look at the race results that you can follow throughout the season. And I think that's all the sponsors, Evil.
Yes, that's all the sponsors yet again, and as you saw, the predictions there at the top of your screen would have been a Red Bull first and third with, I think it was Oaken in P2. Is that omens again for the race? Well, hopefully not for Reaper, because that would mean he would not win the championship. Now, we do talk about championships, and here we're going to they're going to scroll up in the chat. Here are the permutations. If Jamie wins with fastest lap, Reaper is eliminated. Now, pretty much all of this is basically just saying Reaper is eliminated, Jamie wins the championship, all the way down to if Jamie finishes 8th/9th with fastest lap, Reaper must win with fastest lap, otherwise Jamie wins the championship. If Jamie finishes 9th and 10th with fastest lap, Reaper must win. If Jamie finishes at 10th and 11th with fastest lap, Reaper must win. If Jamie finishes 11th and 12th, Reaper must finish at least 2nd with fastest lap, otherwise Jamie wins the championship. If Jamie finishes 12th, Reaper must finish 2nd. And of course, if Jamie does not finish, guess what? Reaper must finish 2nd. So he's going to have to hope that his teammate will drop behind him as soon as possible. And he'll run away off to the sunset and just pray that something terrible happens to Jamie. Because it's a tall order. Let's face it here. It is an incredibly tall order for Reaper to bring himself back into the title fight. Of course, if Jamie does not finish, that will make things slightly easier, but he still needs, of course, to get on that top step of the podium, which has not really been happening very well for him due to the fact of unluck, really, the last couple of races. in terms, of course, of his finishing results in the last 2 races. It is, of course, a 9th in round 11th. Of course, DNS, the race before. That is really what has thrown pretty much Reaper's championship into the doldrums, especially because in the race he did not start. Jamie got P2, and then, of course, a P2 last week as well. That is why the championship has been blown wide open. As we said, of course, in round number 9, it was down to just under 6 points, and that's just how quickly momentum could change in the space of 2 fortnights.
Absolutely. I'm wondering whether they would hope to, Red Bull would have hoped that qualifying went as well as it has, but will Joel and Reaper have spoken about Joel potentially letting Reaper go and then backing up the rest of the pack for as long as he can, so he can get like a 20-second lead or something maybe? If Joel does, I mean, they can work as team. Not sure how well that would work, but there may have been conversations. But it's worth keeping an eye on Ocon as well, considering his last 2 races. He could still be a threat for the win today.
Yeah, never count out the Ferraris. They've been very much on the rise, especially if Ocon. Nightcrawler's had a bit of an up and down season, we'll say that much. He's currently finding himself down in, what is, I think, 8th or 9th for the championship. Of course, unfortunately, the website's been updated and it's kind of all got zoomed in, so I have to actually zoom it out a little bit. There we go. He's currently sitting down in 13th place. Got his first podium last week, of course, in 3rd. He's sitting on 42 points. Just behind, of course, the man who won the first 2 races and then was promptly disintegrated from existence. That's pretty accurate what happened, I'll be fair. That being Old Addict, who was a bit too quick for his boots and... Well, yeah, anyway. Of course, 25 drivers have started this season in some form or another. Of course, we are waiting for a few people to do their first rate. Cameron, of course, I believe that's Twilight, and the other Haas isn't here. Now, we don't know where he is. He was meant to make his first debut and is not here. So the Haas team, who have got, so far this season, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers so far in the Haas team. It's almost like, well, it's almost like an old F1 season back in the day where you used to have drivers swapping and changing every race. And hopefully they can find some stability next season for those positions.
Absolutely. Considering they've had that many drivers, they're still on 98 points in 6th, which is just slightly mad.
Well, yeah, but 3 of the 5 drivers have a total of scored 2 points, which does go a little bit of the way of showing it's been an up and down season. Like I said, though, Jim, he's just got to do what he wants to do, and he just needs to finish this race to become champion. So, it's not too far of a potential battle between 2nd and 3rd in the championship as well, is it? It's Reaper 106, 94 for Jake. Ocon on 75. He's really come up in the last 2 races. Of course, 50 points, pretty much, just under 50 points scored in the last 2 races. So he was sitting down, I think, around 10th or 11th in the championship, and now all of a sudden he's 4th.
Yes, and with his position on the grid and looking at Jake's, this could be a really big opportunity for Ocon to potentially get into 3rd position in the championship.
Yeah, most certainly. In terms of constructors, by the way, something that I really need to keep more on top of, because it's always a little bit hidden away, but it is McLaren, who are currently leading the championship, 208 points, 174 for Red Bull. Now, quick maths in my head means it's possibly can be wrapped up here today. I believe it's, how many is it for a victory? It's 20?
Could potentially be 21 and then 17. So there's a remaining points wise, it's 76 for the constructors. The last 2 races, potentially depending on the fastest laps. So the constructors championship is still massively up for grabs, and with the Red Bull guys being where they are on the grid, yeah.
So it's still potentially open, of course. So that's likely to go to next week. But it is pretty much now a two-horse race. Mercedes 144, of course. Only one driver running, pretty much, for the Mercedes team so far. And that, of course, being Jake. Alpine, a little bit further behind, 20 points behind. Then, of course, we've got Ferrari on the almightiest comebacks. 34 points scored last week, 32 points the week before. The two races, that's pretty much... You take those two results, those two results pretty much match the entirety of the results before it. They scored 5 points the race before, 1, 11, 4, 9, 10, 6 and 5, and of course 32 and 34. So it really shows how they've jumped up. In vice versa, the Haas team, 0 points to start 2 races. They started on 22 and 21 points, and it's dropped off spectacularly for them. Williams down in 7th. Then the Racing Bulls, the Aston Martin, slowly getting on their things. They scored -3 points in the first race. Not quite sure how you managed to score minus points, but there we go. -1 point for the Sauber team as well in the first race, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. There might be some penalties we missed out. But we're getting ready to go then in a few moments' time, as I've rambled on enough to us to get back into the lobby. The calm then before the storm, 20 seconds, and of course then we have 2 minutes just about, and then we of course will be underway for what's I believe it's 28 laps.
Could potentially be 29. I don't have 29 possibly.
It's lap time and it's above 20, I know that much. It's in the high, very, very high 20s. I think it's 29 laps. I think you are correct, of course. One championship here in Abu Dhabi could be wrapped up. No, it could, of course, go to Las Vegas in 7 days' time in a race which is very likely to be wet due to the fact we have had 0 races so far this season. It's not guaranteed it will be wet, but there is, of course, a chance. And the sky, of course, sunshine here over Abu Dhabi. A race, will it be going ahead in real life in a few months' time? That's up in the air due to the conflict, of course, but it is always going to be an exciting prospect. A set of hards, I think, on 2 of the drivers I'm seeing in the pit lane. Nightcrawler on hards, potentially Jamie on hards as well. Of course, 5 red lights will come on in a little bit of time. And those famous words of go above the drivers. Here in the commentary box, the excitement slowly building. Hockney will not make the race. He is out, but it will not be put down on an absence, and of course he is understandably going to be quite furious. Indeed, he is very upset in the chat. So I mean, it's unfortunate, and those things seem to happen, don't they?
They do, unfortunately. And we did have Reaper with the same sort of problem 2 races ago. It can be incredibly frustrating when you cannot get in the race. You know, you've been looking forward to it all week, and then no, doesn't want to let you in.
So you now just have to wonder, what is it going to be then? So that's, I think, 17 drivers in the race. I think we are about to get the go-ahead for the start of the race in just a few seconds' time, as Jamie is typing. And there we go. So just under 30 seconds to go then. And then those gantry lights will come on above the drivers, and we do not have to look at the pit lane for a few moments' time.
It's a good showing, those 17 drivers, even though it's not the full 20, but it's still a really good showing for the race for today.
Yeah, of course.
Drivers.
Potentially next season, it might be up to 22, depends, of course, if it's on this game, or, of course, on the next game. Well, the next season, well, we don't actually know what's going to happen with the 26 thing. We haven't heard anything of it. So here we go then. 5 red lights. Who will be champion today then here in Abu Dhabi? Pause. And we're underway then. It's a good start from Reaper. It's a good start from Joel. As we head down towards turn 1, are we going to through Cleek ready? And there's contact there, and it looks like Reaper's gone off the road. Straight away, contact there of Oaken. Has everyone got themselves through turn number 1 on the exit? Yes, they have. But Reaper, they're very lucky. Oaken running wide then. And there's contact in the background. One of the cars there coming a crop up. I think that might have been one of the Williams, but they all come down to the hairpin then. Get it all slowed down. Everyone needs to be careful, and there is one car around. And I think that might have been Mark Frodford. Again in trouble. Like he was a couple of races ago, having trouble again at the start. As Jamie up in 4th position then. Has done the job he wants to. One very close there is contact. Oh, more contact there with Jamie as well, as he got a car inside him. And Jake there had been dumped down the order due to the ghosting system. But Jamie now up to 4th. But it's 1st and 2nd from the 2 Red Bulls then. The Ferrari of Oaken in 3rd, who did make contact, we believe. Reaper's rear end at the 1st corner. But they've got away with it right now. Jamie up to 4th. James up to 5th. Jake up to 6th. Reaper's had a terrible start down to 7th. Battling alongside and around the outside, and more contact there, and that's certainly not helped in. The front wing's now gone on the Ferrari, and that is the last thing he wanted to do.
Yeah, I think now Clear has damage. I would see things he may be coming into the pits after the first lap. He has his left heaven plate missing. No, he's stayed out, so he's going to carry on.
Yeah, couldn't come in the pit then just yet, like we've seen a few drivers do, and they just don't want to pit.
I mean, they think that if it's not too much, it's not causing too many problems, they don't want to lose all that time with the pit stops so early on in the race.
Well, up front though, look at the 2 Red Bulls though, they've galloped away then. So Reaper and Joe, it's had tons of tyres. Let's see what they're all on right now. Let's get the tyres up. So it's a hard for Reaper. So he's gone on the hard combat tyres, everyone else on the mediums. So it's very crucial he didn't get caught up in turn 1, wasn't it? As there goes Jamie, up the inside then, so Jamie's made the move. He's passed Oaken up to 3rd, and these 2, of course, were they going to battle last week for the 1st? The answer to that was no. Are they going to battle for 3rd? The answer to that, for now, is no.
Mike has had an absolutely fantastic start. He's up 7 positions, up into 8th at the moment.
And Jake dropping down. As running wide, there is one of the cars. And I wonder if there's been more contact then with that Ferrari. That front wing is looking, well, it's not looking like a front wing anymore. And I think he is going to have to come into the pit there now, my friend, isn't he?
Yes, absolutely. I think he might have had some more contacts as he's gone round through the chicanes. And that, yeah, he will have to come in and replace that front wing. That's going to be causing
straight in the pits.
Drag through the corners.
Up front, Jamie, fastest lap on the race. Now, remember, he needed a fast lap of the race, but if it finished right now, he will be champion for the 2nd time. Of course, won it many seasons ago at a race at Austin. In the pouring rain, the emotions were very high for him after that race. From what I heard, he was very, very emotional. Now we're going to see some emotion today. Jake's got damage on that front wing as well, so he's come into contact with a car at the start of the race. And again, the first couple of laps, they seem to be where the incidents are happening. And of course, it's no surprise, everyone's bunched up, there's going to be contact. I mean, definitely seems like it's a little bit high so far.
Yes, I wonder it's not as dramatic as it was in Miami, but there's certainly been contact throughout the grid at the start of the race.
Meanwhile, Oaken takes back up into P3. Reaper has taken the lead then of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now, we theorised this was going to be a slight manipulation between the 2 Red Bulls. Team orders running in play. And now I'm wondering if that team order has happened, because you would presume Joel would be a quicker at this stage of the race. So, is he going to try and back up? We've got contact. Someone's on the wall at the background. I think it's one of the Hasses. Yeah, it is one of the Hasses. It's Michael Verseklen. So, all that good work at the start of the race is all gone wrong there. It hasn't damaged the front wing by the looks of it, but those tyres will be very much screaming for mercy right now, won't they?
Absolutely. Just wondering whether Joel will stick with Reaper rather than backing off, allowing them both just to pull away from Oaken rather than slowing down. I would have presumed that they would try and stay together to pull away even more from the guys behind them. Yeah,
you would certainly imagine so. Let's see how that goes. You can see then with the Red Bulls, there they are, 1st and 2nd, 1.9 seconds ahead of Oaken, who is just holding ahead of Jeremy right now. Those 2 switched around just just over a lap and a half ago. Jake in 5th. He's pretty much in his own little bubble right now. He's ahead of James, who's battling away with Helvetica Curly. In his, guess what? He's in 8th again. The man who likes fencing in 8th. Is in 8th. I don't think for long though in 8th, unfortunately. Here we go then. Which way are we going to go? Outside into the corner. It's going to be difficult to go around the outside there normally, but he's going to get to the apex, and it looks like Curly didn't want to fight that one too heavily at this stage of the race and end up with a broken front wing. Looking at the Aston Martins, where are they? 10th and 15th, and it's King Bright, who's, like we said, has not had a good season so far. Maybe finally, could he score a point? He's scored a couple, and every time I've said that, normally the next thing I see is there's him spinning off or having an issue later on in the race. So hopefully that... Oh, off he goes. There is Wolf. And I almost about to say, well, that's not Bryce going off, but it's Wolf. He's done very well to catch that one out. As into the pit lane comes Kenzie. Not Kenzie. Who was that? Mark Crawford into the pit lane? Yes, it is. So
yes.
That's 5. Now, is that a scheduled stopper? Has he got a front wing change, I'm wondering? Front wing change. It's not a damaged front wing. Set of hard compound tyres. So what's going to be interesting is see how long is Reaper going to stay out. That will give us the pure indication of how long these tyres are going to last.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if Reaper is really going to go for it as he said he would do, then I would probably suspect that he may come in around like 9 to 10 on the hards. I expect the mediums come a lot sooner. Yeah,
about lap 7, I think. But between lap 5 and 7 is what we believe potentially for these medium compound tyres. They're definitely not lasting. If you're on a set of softs, probably only lap 3 or 4 before you're going to be wanting to come straight back into the pit lane. And he's doing what he needs to do right now, but it's not enough. He needs Jamie to have an incident, and he very much nearly did caught an incident. What has really helped Jamie is the fact that it's really James is currently holding the rest of the field up invertedly here, because look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all together. Into the pit lane comes the other of the Alpine, so that indicates to me laps about 5, 6, 7 laps. That's all these tyres are going to do then.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a free stop.
Yeah. It will be, and it depends really on their allocations as well. Will they have done it harder so they can have 2 hards, or will it be two mediums? I mean, that would indicate it may well be a 4-stop. It could happen. It's
not unheard of 4-stop strategies, of course. Last time I remember seeing 4 stops, I think it was many years ago. I think the first time I saw a 4-stop race properly, and that would have been Canada in 2010, of course. That was the race that pretty much was Pirelli's gold period for, I'm guessing softs ain't viable an option, right? No, they're definitely not. Maybe if there's a safety car at a very late stage of the race, then you might chuck a set of soft tyres on and go, full insert 2021. Don't really like hopefully seeing that in the race, but could happen, never know. Though historically, you don't get the safety car coming on the last lap of the race. On this game. I don't believe so, at least. I think it's always limited to 2.
Yeah, it seems if it goes past a certain point right at the end of the race, there's no chance of a safety car. It's like three laps, maybe?
Yeah. In comes Joel then. So that pretty much confirms then. So they can only do 7 laps total. In comes Ocon. And everyone right now is going to try and follow each other. I tell you what, if I'm Jamie right now, would I come into the pit lane now? Or will I try and stretch these tyres out a little bit? You've got a big gap behind right now. And it's 5 seconds behind to Jake, of course, who had that trouble at the start of the race and is running with that damage. Who's, to be fair, running pretty well so far, despite that damage. So, I think if Jamie can stretch these tyres out to probably lap 8 or 9, he'll be very happy. They'll be very much crying for help. I don't know how high the percentage of the tyres are going to be. I imagine they're probably about 50% right now.
Yes, it always appears to be the rear right. It just steps out and you find yourself at the point skidding. I would have thought everybody as soon as they start skidding around the car.
Wolf's out again in the pit lane. Safety car. And that's a second time in the space of that. So he's out in the pit lane then. So whatever has happened, he's just not managed to get it stopped and is slivered into the pit wall. And it's a a very odd place. I don't think he was in the pit lane. I'm not sure if he was in the pit lane or he wasn't in the pit lane. I didn't quite catch it, but given the laps 0-0 on the hard tyres, I imagine he'd have just come in. So, well, that's pretty much... Reaper's going to have to come in.
Yeah.
Jamie's going to come in surely as well. I tell you what, this is not going to help Reaper this afternoon, because he's now going to have to make a very, very much strategic decision. Will he go on another set of hard compound tyres, or is he going to go on a set of mediums? Mediums. What's Jamie doing? Hards. That's going to be a tall order now for Reaper to win this race, because he's going to have to nurture those tyres all the way, now probably 8 or 9 laps. Of course, the safety car will help him a little bit, but only by maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would have thought if Reaper's got another set of hards in his pocket, he'd want to try and get them to at least lap 19, but that's not going to be. I can't see that being possible with a set of mediums for 10 laps around here.
Well, it really all depends on how long is that safety car going to stay out. I'm expecting at least lap 10 to come into the pit lane. At least around there.
I would have always thought that the safety car would always wait for all the cars to be behind the safety car. But it seems recently that the safety car doesn't wait. It'll just stay out for 3 laps and then go in, even if everybody's not bunched up. Yeah,
it can be a little bit. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. We don't quite know what Burt Meinlander and the safety car drivers are doing, and I will admit, a very gorgeous Aston Martin safety car. Not being biased, do prefer the Aston. But, well, the Mercedes is more iconic, and, well, the Aston's not there anymore, so bugger it. It once upon a time was a... someone just overtook another safety car briefly there. I think it was Joe and Jamie. But it was originally a Porsche. There was a Lamborghini safety car as well many moons ago, as many weird safety cars we had back in the 70s and 80s. And, of course, the official safety car, like we see today, that was introduced in, I believe, 93, when it was first properly introduced. And, of course, in 94 was very much used. And, well, in a race that was very much dark for Formula 1, that race, of course, in Imola in 94. Safety car, of course, one of the first few times it came out. Maybe it was a bit too slow, and that could have caused some incidents. Looking at the start line, there was a bit of contact in the background nearly there, it looked like. And they've got away with it, so they're punching up. And we've seen this before, though, as well. A lot of the safety car restarts and drivers bunching up and nearly running into each other. It has been it's strange it happened more than once early this season.
Yeah, I was just thinking back to, quickly then, back to Miami, when Reaper was going through the chicanes and he got a bit close to the safety car and went into the back of it, and everybody else concertinaed into each other, but it seems to be being a lot more cautious today behind the safety car. Not trying to get too close to it, so he's having to brake hard. I mean, it's probably a wise thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't want happening what happened last week.
Yeah, we're expecting safety car in the end of this lap, I'm going to presume, given that everyone is now together. That'll be Reaper then, leading the way. Lap number 9 of 29, 20 laps to go in this race. A tall order ahead of him. He's got to make these tyres last from pretty much now all the way up to at least around about lap 18. Or he's going to hope for another safety car.
I think that will be in the back of his mind about another safety car, but I think around lap 15 those tyres will be screaming. Could well be even before then, because he's going to have to try and keep Jake behind him as well.
Yeah, he's going to have to play all the games he can do, try and make Jamie have an accident, make Jamie make a mistake. It's all going to be game plans right now. He's going to hope Joel can get involved in this as well. That's the only trump up Red Bull's sleeve, as they've got both of the Red Bulls, first and third in this race. And they're getting very close as Reaper decides when he's going to go. Keep it nice and steady around about the 50 miles. He's starting to build up, and away we go then. Jumps the start, and he's got it absolutely perfectly then. So Reaper will lead them away then on those medium compound tyres from Jamie in second. And then very quickly, Joel is going to be right behind him as well. And probably, are we going to see a move down in towards turn number 4, I wonder? Straight away on this first opportunity. Well, that's going to be the thing. Jamie, I think, is going to be wise of it. And will probably dump a little bit of ERS. He knows he doesn't want a car diving right here. We've seen it once. Are we going to see a dive here today? No, we're not then. So they're all thinking, not going to go for a little silly dive at this stage of the race. As goes a little bit wide. Actually goes Joel. So now Jamie, can he go and try and challenge after Reaper? Or will he just sit there in that position? Over down the field, I think pretty much no movers of the top, at least of the top 7. I think one of the Aston Martins there battling with the Ferrari is James and Shiesty. Go battling, go contact. And there's double front wing off the side of Shiesty then. So it's gone from bad to worse. And now they're 3 wide. And more debris coming off one of the cars then. And this is always going to be entertaining then. 3 into 1's not going to work. And are we going to see one car come a crop up? No, we're not. Yellow flags flying again. Oh, that's always very close there. Shiesty into the side of Jake. Man, they get away with that one just about. And I think surely Shiesty's going to have to come straight into the pit lane with that double damage.
James just seems to be just being very conservative, saving his tyres. He doesn't need to push. He's in a very comfortable position. And Reaper's really, he's going hard. Reaper. At the moment, I'm wondering whether those tyres are going to last as long as I thought they would. But he's having to just try and pull away from Jamie as much as he can. But
well, if we get a safety car around about now, if we got another safety car around this section of the race, that very much will help Reaper. Now, yeah. I don't know if we're going to get a safety car in this race. I tell you what, Joel and Jamie, though, these two are going to start battling, I think, in a minute. But look at the ERS uses. Jamie and Joel, they have both dumped the entirety of their ERS in this race. They are going hammer and tong to try and see who wins this race. I reckon Reaper will go lap 18 for another set of hard tyres. That's what we presume might happen. And I tell you what, that gap's come back down ever so slightly, hasn't it?
It has. And just looking at Oaken, he's saving a lot of... It's like he's saving his tyres, and he's got a lot of ERS available, and he might come. Oaken could be somebody to watch as well. He might come back at them very quickly if Jamie and Joel are fighting.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're just seeing then 5 tenths the gap between them. Reaper just ahead. He clips the inside wall as well, and you can just see. I think you can definitely tell Joel's pushing a little bit harder right now than Jamie. The gap up front, I call the fast start of the race so far. He's currently down. Oh, was that a penalty? No, my bad, it was a penalty, not fast start of the race. Let's see, where are we going to see any overtaking opportunities? Well, we're definitely not going to be down here. I don't think that so far this season. It's like other games, and especially it's on the F1 game. It's not an easy overtaking opportunity down into there, is it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a hard, heavy brake. It turns very quickly. But you couldn't even brake lacing on the driver because you'd end up going into the side of them. So you just have to be very mindful going through the corner. There's a good. Just looking to see. Oh, that's.
Alveca and Curly battling away.
Yeah. All the cars seem to be spreading out. There was a gaggle of cars from Curly down to Mark, but that seems to have...
spread a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Curly sitting in his favourite position of 8th. Jake now up into 5th position as the 2 Aston Martins go battle. Up the inside there comes one of the Hasses. Does he get the move done down into there? No, but of course makes the Aston Martin go wide. Now you try and go right around the outside. Swoop across the front. And Bryce there has got no answer for it. Down into 12th position. Oh, we're back behind as well. We've got Kenzie and Nightcaller. We believe those two may have come a cropper yet again at the beginning of this restart of the race, because that gap now opened right the way back up front. Jamie just sitting a second off the lead up. Behind him, Joe just sitting a second off a second. And Oaken slowly but surely starting to come back into this one. But look who's joining him very slowly. Jake's getting a bit on the momentum as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. It's like they've all looked at the first stint and go, right, step back a bit, save the tyres, and they'll come back to them the more they go into the more laps that are on those tyres. And that's what I mean about Reaper. He might have just gone just a bit too quick early on, and everybody now are closing up on him.
Yeah, certainly indeed. I'm just saying, apparently, what's happened potentially to Wolf. Just got a video to see what has happened to him. Hopefully the video will launch up as Helveka gets a penalty for his measure as well. Top 3, now all within a second.
Oh, that's going to be... Oh.
You good there?
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind Curly. It's very, very close together, and he's too wide through the corners at the end of the lap. And Fox nearly, I think he did touch Curly at the back of his car, but they've got away with it.
Yeah, they're all very much in a very tight line. But whilst we're looking at that, I'm kind of having to switch between 2 or 3 things, because look up front. Here is Jamie. There is Reaper. And these two are going to go battling down the straight. So, are we about to see a switch for the lead then here in Abu Dhabi? Can Reaper do anything about it? The answer is no. Is he think about a move then down into the next corner? Because he's on the medium compound tyres. They will be better out of this corner. He'll get the DRS. And surely if he's got anything, he'll try and come back through. But I don't think he will. Because Jamie is using absolutely every ounce of speed. And now will lead the race here in Abu Dhabi. So Jamie back into the lead. And that's got to be a little bit of a blow right now to Reaper. He sees his championship rival, the man he needs to beat, now ahead of him. And what can you do right now? There's not a lot you can do. These tyres are going off.
Yeah, I think if it was... I wouldn't be surprised if Reaper maybe might dive into the pits here, but it's so early on. We're not even half distance. No, he's just stay out.
Yeah, I mean, unless you can try and unsettle him and see what happens, but it's a tall order. Meanwhile, you did mention this gigantic battle. It's now Fox ahead of Michael, then comes Curly, then comes Bryce Helvek and Mark Crawford, and then right at the back of this, Kosaku's got that damage from earlier on. And you wonder which one of these drivers are going to end up tripping over each other. I tell you what, Fox has got a bit of a gap right now, actually, in 8th position as we're going back down the main straight for another lap. Is there any opportunity for Reaper? Down here he comes. No, there's nothing. Nightcaller time penalty, 3 seconds again, so that's now 6 for him. Jamie a little bit deep into there, but hook it up on the exit. Won't need to worry about that, because just look how much more traction out of the corner he's getting.
Nightcrawler's got a damaged front wing. I think he's been going around with that since the start of the safety car ended.
Jake and James battling away meanwhile, and that's very close between the Williams and the Mercedes. Out do we come then, and who's going to brake first on these two then down into the section down here? I think it's going to have to be James. It is James. He has to back out of that one because it's very much a closing gap. That 15 of 29. 14 and a bit laps to go then here in Abu Dhabi for what is pretty much the championship final in terms of the who can win the championship. And of course there is another race in 7 days time where the constructors very much can be decided. And between McLaren and Red Bull, and it looks like it's going to be going potentially the way of Red Bull as things continue to go so. But it's going to be close.
Jamie saved quite a lot of DRS going down this back straight, and I don't think Reaper's got much of an answer at the moment to Jamie. He's used it all very quickly. He's got none left, and Reaper's they're very close together with DRS. But Jamie's at the moment seems to have this fully under control.
Yeah, you just got to keep stretching a little bit further, a little bit more. A strategy again. We mentioned earlier on safety cars being the Achilles heel of Reaper. Well, it happened again here today, and it's, of all things, it's benefited Jamie yet again so far. And you've got to say, Reaper's not had the luck so far, has he?
He's doing very well to stay with Jamie at this stage, considering he's an 8-lap-old mediums.
Yeah, he's pushing on.
Going to stay with him. He's going to. Oh,
struggling, isn't he?
A bit an error there. Yeah, I think they're going off. I think they have gone off. Those tyres.
And
so he jumps in. Yeah.
14 laps on a set of hards. That's not going to happen, is it? Gets it stopped. He's going to have to. He's going to have to pit again. These tyres will not go 14, well, really 13 laps. I mean, the most we saw was, well, I mean, saying that, they've stretched so far 10 laps of the race, so they are pushing, and these guys are going to go on a set of mediums again, I presume. Unless they've got a set of hards.
I mean, if everybody at Reaper's, he's just got his hards on, but if everybody was to come in now and put mediums on, I wouldn't suspect they would make it. So I think most of the drivers are going to try and extend, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, they need to stretch, lap 18, 19, and then go on and set another set of hards if they've got them. So that early safety car really has caused a little bit of an issue for some drivers if they were going to try and stretch the tyres out ever so slightly. I mean, look down in third, there's Ocon, and he's pushing on again, isn't he? So, is he the master of the tyre whisperers, I'm wondering?
He's just bided his time. He's just... he must be... He looks like he's very comfortable on those tyres, considering the 10 laps old. He's just pushing up to Joe.
And both coming in the pit lane.
Both diving in.
Yep, so both diving in. Jamie, as Ocon gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. Now, I'm not quite sure I believe in that one, because I didn't see him cut across the pit lane or anything. 3 seconds for Michael as well, so that's an interesting time penalty. Jamie stays out then, so he's going for a set of medium compound tyres, surely.
Unless he's got another set of hards. You see about that corner coming into the pit lane. It seems that if you do actually go onto the curb, you will get a warning. You've got to stay on the track. Into the pits.
Which is a little bit interesting. But nonetheless, time penalties have come for a few drivers. Kasak, I believe, got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's going to be the second Racing Bulls not having a good afternoon. One, of course, in the pit wall.
Reaper go past Helveker into the chicane.
And he just needs to hope and pray for something, anything to happen. And, I mean, he's in 5th position. It's going to be a good result for him. He can get these tyres probably to the end of the race now. And given that everyone else around him, they've just come in as well. Joel's just 1 lap older tyres, so are we seeing Jamie in the pit lane now? Yes, we are. Don't speed, get it slowed down, 30 miles an hour. 3-second time penalty then, and let's see. Set of hard compound tyres for Jamie then. The final pit stop for the world champion of many seasons ago in P4. And he just needs now to come out. He will lose the race lead to Reaper. Jake stayed out a little bit. He's going a set of mediums, surely now. And let's see. Is there going to be a switch of position between Joel and Jamie here, I wonder? I think there is a switch of position between Joel and Jamie here. Yeah, there is. So Joel's now ahead, and he's behind Helveker, who presumably won't be able to put too much of a fight down this straight. That's almost looking up the inside there, and he just needs to get on the exit. Blast past him with the DRS, and now he's ahead, but very close there for Helveker getting squeezed a little bit. Here comes Jamie, who's going to go, you know what, Fingerbots, I'm going to use all of my ERS right now, but I'm going to brake a little bit earlier. I'm going to take it cautious into here. I'm not going to try and do a move straight away on Joel. I don't need to right now, but I definitely do not want to be held up too much. I mean, he's got a gap behind of his good rival and probably a decent battle friend of Ocon, who, of course, the last 2 races beat Jamie on the last couple of the laps.
Yeah, just look at the stops. There's still, well, we could still see a 3-stopper by some drivers, but there's still 3 drivers that have got to make a stop yet. Jake, Helveker and Kenzie.
Jake's staying. Is he just come in? Yes, he's coming. So that'll be a set of hard compound tyres for Jake, you would imagine, as well. In comes no, it doesn't. Income doesn't come Helveca, so he's staying out a little bit. So let's see. Set of hards for Jake. Yep, set of hards for Jake.
And this train of cars. Oh, let's say train of cars. It was from Curly, in 10th. A couple of laps ago, they were all together by only about 3 seconds, but that's.
Spread open a little bit, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Even what? Look at this little bagger coming up pit then. Here is Michael. Here is Shiesty. Ahead of him is Jamie. Sorry, it's Jake. Around the outside of turn 4. That's going to be brave. You'll get double dose of DRS. And Jake's probably right now, if I'm him, I'm using some of his DRS right now. Because here comes 1, here comes 2. Down the straight, which one's going to break later? Both have got DRS. Watch out, Jake, going to be 3 wide potentially. Round the outside comes Shiesty, cuts across the front of Jake. A bit of contact. I think Jake will now get the DRS straight back on him and probably will just say, hello, sunshine. You know what? I'm going back around the outside of you, my friend. There he goes, back around the outside. I don't think Shiesty's going to battle that one too heavily. Indeed doesn't. Thought about it for a second down into the corner, but... it's a day there and it's very much dollar short. And then Michael Vasek then down in 9th, just behind him. I thought for the briefest of seconds they were going to be thrown in. That's... Wow. You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. They're going to go battling. But that's Michael Vasek. He just came in a little too hot, that.
Yeah, he's skidded the car, broke far too late. He's gone right into the back of Shiesty. And
he'll get away... Well... Michael might get away of that one because the damage is in comes Helveca into the pit lane. Then finally, after 13 laps on those set of hard compound tyres, now that will give Reaper the slightest bit of happiness that he knows probably he can stretch these tyres. Meanwhile, though, here comes Jamie. And is Joel going to try and defend this one? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Is he? No, he thinks better of it on the exit. Doesn't get a good exit either. Jamie plotted that one perfectly, and Joel's got no answer for it, has he?
Absolutely not. Helveca's gone onto the softs with...
Interesting.
8 laps to go? 9, sorry.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe he just wants to go bugger. I'm going for some fun here. Maybe he didn't have any tyres.
Yes, he could have gone on to the
normal strategy,
balance set, and only had 1 set of hards and 2 mediums, and the mediums have just run out, as you've seen, after 5 laps.
Yeah, so he's just going to have some fun right now down the back. Only 1 safety car so far in this race. Jamie and Joel battling together still for the battle for P2 and 3. Ocon in the Ferrari has pulled away now quite comfortably from the guys behind, and I tell you what, this been just the beginning of a championship season. Ocon would definitely be saying, oh, you know what, I've got a good chance of a championship potentially here. Unfortunately, it's the end of the season, and he is going to close up on Jake a little bit so far. As meanwhile, the Red Bull going deep again into the corner. He's just trying anything. Both of them are using all of their ERS. None of them making any inroads on each other.
Looking at the gains again at the start of the race, and it's a shame for Mike because he's had a couple of come-ins togethers, but I mean he could have been fighting with the top 3 if he hadn't had the he was still up 7 positions from the start, even with all the come-ins together with the other drivers. Yeah,
so it's definitely a race of ups and downs, and like I said, he's down in 8th. He's ahead of Curly with that time penalty as well. So Curly is, guess what? He's 8th. So of net, so his favourite place. As I've said a few times this afternoon, Nightcaller down in 14th, having a torrid afternoon in the second Ferrari after what was the highs of 3rd to the lows of probably 14th position, and probably a bit happier than where Kenzie is right now. He's not making it to the end of the race on those set of medium compound tyres, and neither, to be fair, is Helveca. So both of them are going to have to pit. And what can you do anything right now if you're Reaper? I mean, there's not really anything you can do because all the cars are really far apart now. unless we get a safety car right now, which I don't believe we're getting, because I don't see anyone going spinning off into the Armco barrier. Fingers, hopefully not discussed that one. So it's all going to be right now, is can Joel do anything to unsettle Jamie? Make him to have a mistake? I mean, hopefully no contact between them. That's, of course, the last thing we want to see. But in terms of a championship perspective, if these two do come together and Jamie doesn't finish, that will blow the championship wide open. But I think Joel's going to be a little bit more circumspect about trying to do any moves that might jeopardise both of their races. As Jake and James, meanwhile, going battle through the quick long left-hander. Is Jake going right around the outside again? Yes, he is. Good move, Jake. Round he goes. Are we going to see a little dive? Wait, careful, Jake. He almost spun the car as he gets it on the brakes, and away he goes. So Jake, my dear boy, up in 5th position. Up front, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. There is 4th just behind. We're on that 24 of 29 now. 5 or 6 laps to go. And what right now are going to be the emotions in that cockpit of Jamie? You don't cause for a championship victory. As long as you don't make a mistake, you can afford to drop down a position or two if you wanted to. Does he want to win this race though on track? Despite it, he's got the gap down to 0.6 of a second. DRS now wide open. And here we go then. Is Reaper going to make a cover to the inside? Force them to go around the outside then. And here we go. They're going to go battling then. The two title protagonists then. Here in Abu Dhabi, around the outside. Here goes Jamie. Is he going to get squeezed right off the circuit? Yes, he is going to get squeezed. As far wide as he comes. And here now comes Reaper. But Jamie's got the DRS. Are we going to see all of a sudden Joel going to come straight through past Reaper? No, he's not. He's going to back out of it. So the two teammates are going to try and work together, but that's not worked. Whatever the plan was there, if you were trying to get Reaper and Joel ahead of Jamie, that's not the way they want to do it. Because now, all of a sudden, Jamie, who we know is very quick in this race, on fresher tyres, yet again, compared to the cars behind, surely right now can rope away.
Yes, I would suppose so. I mean, I'm surprised that Reaper possibly didn't let Joel through to attack Jamie, because he could have pinged him back, but I guess Reaper needs to be the driver going for Jamie to try and get repast him. But it could have been an option, but
yeah, it could have been.
So focused on the racing anyway that they weren't not thinking about it when they're going 3 wide through a corner. Oh, well, I'm going to let him through, but I think Jamie's got this under control now.
Yeah. Lap 25 at 29, are we going to see any potential for a comeback? You want to be around about 6/10 around this DRS zone to have a potential. They're definitely not within that 10th then, so I wonder, are we going to see Joel get ahead of Reaper potentially and try a late race charge? I mean, it would be the smart thing to do if I was in the Red Bull shoes right now, to try and throw the hammer at anything. But now all of a sudden, look who's with them, Ocon. So Ocon's come up through the field and he is now challenging. He's going for it around the outside for the briefest of seconds there of trying to go around the outside of Joel. Joel, I don't think he saw him right there, and Ocon was like, I've got to brake here because if I keep the way I'm going, there's going to be an accident. And thankfully did back out of that one, and he's definitely pushing, isn't he?
He is, and Ocon, they've all been fighting at the front, and Ocon has come from, well, he's just been watching them fight and just strolled up to the back of them.
Well, it's almost like, what was it, about 10 laps ago, you said, what's up for Ocon? These three are going to battle, and he's going to be right with them. Well, I suppose it was more the battle between Joel and Jamie, and those two are going to get with them. But it's now all three of them battling together. Make lap 4, and further behind, we will not get a safety car anymore in this race, so if there's an accident, no safety car to save you. So if you have an incident, very late on the brakes there from the Red Bulls. Gap 0.5 of a second. And are we going to see a potential for a dive down here? Jamie's using all of his expertise, all of his knowledge. He's got lower downforce than Reaper. That's certainly what I'm seeing, because he's just holding, despite the DRS, to pull away. So is there anything you can do? I don't think so, Sunshine. Gap now 0.7 of a second. You've got the DRS. In fact, it's opening up despite that. So it definitely goes to show right now that Jamie's just running less DRS. I mean, well, less downforce, should I say.
He's also being very conservative with his battery. He's he's only using it on the 2 straights, and even that's intermittently. He always seems to have at least 40% ERS. He's gone up again. He's at half. He's just waiting for those long straights at the back, and he's saved up a 60%, and he's just ready for anything that Reaper might throw at him down the straights.
Yeah, certainly, unless of course Reaper can try anything down in towards turn 4, but it's too far back. If you try to dive from 7/10, you are coming a cropper. He nearly come a cropper right there. So he's pushing. These tyres are screaming out right now. Lap 10, he's having to try to do what he can, but Jamie now with 2 laps to go, unless of course he makes a mistake. Now outside of DRS, it's looking the way of the young Britishman. Like I said, one-time a champion, of course, many moons ago. I think it was back on F1 22, maybe even F1 21 when his first title. It's been a long road. The only P4 title winner, by the way, as well. And he just needs to bring it home right now. Reaper in second. Here is Oken. And finally now going around the outside, and he gets blocked by his teammate. And the 2 Red Bulls come together. The 2 Red Bulls have hit each other. And it's, oh dear. That's the last thing they wanted. And well, that's allowed Oken through. Is there damage for both of the Red Bulls? No, I don't think there is. But Oken got damage. Reaper there, I think, was trying to slow Oken up to get that podium. And I think Joel misinterpreted it and ran to the side of him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering whether, given the tyre offset, that Reaper's tyres may possibly have gone, because he lost us near enough a second to Jamie going through his chicane. So I'm just wondering if his tyres might have just completely gone.
Get the cliff, yeah. At 20 out of 29 then. Penultimate lap of this race. Battle for 3rd and 4th, still brewing up. And very close there for Joel. Yellow flags. And that is a McLaren off into the wall. There is Bryce off into the wall, into the pit lane. And Shiesty is coming back on circuit in the McLaren. That's not going to help the constructors for the McLaren at all, is it? Is there a front wing on that McLaren? No, there is not. So he's hit the wall. So Bryce is retired in the pit lane.
He's probably going to have to try and get to the end of the race, that wing, but he has got, well, it's never, I don't think it's ever a comfortable lead when you've got no front wing. It's going to hinder him massive for the last lap and a half.
Yeah, he's going to be out of the point, certainly. Alvecchia will close up behind him. You'll probably lose about 6, 7, and maybe 8 seconds a lap, so, I mean, you probably stay out and get the last point, but any point really right now helps for McLaren.
Joel's really on the back of Oken. He's going to wait. He's going to wait until they stay with him as he can, and then wait to the back straight.
One lap to go. And where's this battle? And you were saying, sorry to cut over you there, whereas Joel and Oken. Are we going to see a dive into this corner finally? Last lap of the race, a Red Bull trying to dive? No. He's going to get him down the DRS zone right now, though, surely. Though Oken's got a lot more ERS to battle with, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, Joel could just wait there. He's got the
penalty,
DRS, and he's got the DRS, and he could use it if he wanted to pass him. He could use it down the second DRS after the chicane.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to because Oken's got the penalty. But meanwhile, up front, and he's got 1 sector to go. Then the young man, then. Like we said, one-time a champion, many moons ago, and he's on his course then to win another. He's only got really 2 sectors to go, well, 2 corners to go really. It's going to be this one, and then of course, pretty much the last 2 in a few moments' time then for the McLaren driver. Through he comes then, through the last top of the corners. He's got 2 right-handers, one-time a champion. Well, guess what? You're going to make it too, Jamie. Across the line, then here comes Jamie. He'll win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He'll win the title for the second time. And he's finally done it after 5 long years of racing. A world champion yet again. Reaper in second. Joel will finish third. Okun's gonna finish fourth. And I've got a lump coming in my throat.
Yeah, it's a fantastic drive by Jamie. He always seemed to have an answer to even when they had the safety car. He knew what he had to do, and he's brought it home with some style there.
And Shiesty somehow does get across the line with no front wing. 11th position for him. And what right now is going to be the emotions for Jamie? Finally a title after such a long wait. And a season of ups and downs. Maybe he's had the luck for him as well. That doesn't matter now, because he's finally done it. And well, you win your first title. It's quite emotional. Having that long of a wait to win your second, that's got to be absolutely the more emotional one.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't know myself really, but
well,
I'm guessing
you might do.
Well, not for he's started to wait that long. He's been in it for a decade or so, Jamie, racing in Monhub. I guess having to wait for 5 years to see your second one, it must be quite painful. But is it painful? I mean, he had one already, and he's managed to get this one into the bag as well. And then where does he go from here? Could win a third next year. Go again.
Yeah, he certainly can. One beautiful thing, and the champagne will go then for Jamie. And he's going to probably savour that podium for a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been good. There's been a couple of races this year when he's been in a tough spot this season, and he seems to have always came through. Jamie, he's been really solid.
Indeed. Well, I think we know who's going to be the driver of the day. So I'm going to give it to Jamie. And my question, which may change later on because how it normally goes, is Jamie, you've won one title many moons ago in Austin. You finally got your second one here in Abu Dhabi. Congratulations. How's the emotions after such a long wait?
Actually, I'm actually going to give it to Mike, because it's really, despite all the coming together and everything, he's still got that far up the grid with all the changes to his front wing and what. So it's just for Mike, despite all the coming together during the race, did you feel like you were able to? How easy was it to get back up to 7th position, and was it a good race for yourself? But yeah, I'm going to give it to Mike.
Indeed. Well, I think before we end the stream off, I think we shall send it to you for the beautiful sponsors.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So we have to thank our... Bear me a moment. So we like to thank our sponsors. First off, our title sponsor, Delta.app. Also, Next Level Racing, Sim Racing Setups, Pure Sim Gear, Vespertine, and SimGrid.
Here we go. So, what have you got any final words for what's going to be Jamie on his title?
I think my big thing is congratulations to him, and well, I hope he can enjoy Vegas. He can go in there and
wants to invite him to the party to say congratulations, but I think time constraints might not allow that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking I need to get off to tier 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're on a course for your first championship as well, aren't you? So potentially, I hope I've not cursed it. How emotional do you think some of these drivers, if you win it, how emotional do you think it's going to be for you potentially?
I am not sure, because I'd say it's my first season. I didn't know what to expect coming into the season. The fact that I'm going into second/race season, possibly going in for a championship, is mind blowing. So I'll see what happens at the end. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, but if it does happen, I think it will be quite special. Yeah. Yeah, I'll enjoy it.
Oh.
But we've not done the race yet. We've got a full race to do, and even might be going into the last race of the season, so we will see.
Yes, indeed. Well, of course, we'll head off and let the P3 stream of Lawrence and I believe it's Curly yet again back with us. So, of course, we'll see you soon from us in P4. Take care and good evening.